outside there. Like Andrew, that I did tell you, starting from that is last week, I did tell you when we are bouncing back for the second leg of UEFA Champions League. I am not going to be alone to take you as the sports custodian in the room here, but we are going to have a sports analysis as far as the USSA and we have a UEFA Champions League games are concerned. The rightful person that I've ever been thinking about is already with me here in the building. That is none other than that is Majid. He is with me here. So professional, he's a coach. So before I proceed, to my left is the guest. You're most welcome.
Thank you, Lighter TV. I said I'm Ravan Majid, the head coach for Koboko Public Secondary School. This is my second year with that school. It has been a nice school and a nice tournament last year. We have started trainings. All is going on well.
Yeah, all is going on well. Those are the amazing words from that is my guest who is going to be, and not even my guest who is going to be throughout as far as the round of 16 UEFA games are concerned. You speak about UEFA Champions League, Europa League, and also UEFA Conference League. 3 good days he is going to be joining me here up to right here. So our purpose here basically is just about 2 areas. That narrowing into local scenes is all about USSA, Uganda Secondary School Sports Association games and UEFA Champions League games. That is why majorly you are here. What is your take as far as UEFA Impact Uganda Secondary School Sports Association is concerned? To start it from the administrative aspect of it, if you look at different districts in West Nile, officially the ones of Jumani kicked off yesterday. We have a Terrego there that is going to kick off this coming weekend on 21st. Arua City the same. We have Nebi. What happened as far as your own anticipations are concerned in Koboko?
Thank you so much. As being a big stakeholder in the game, as a person living aside the issue of coaching, I've been a very big follower in football, local football within Koboko. I'll tell you, back to my school days when I joined in Young License in Senior 1, I've been following these games. I'll tell you there are players that have left Koboko and they have gone through secondary football. Let's talk about people like Per, that's Toha Rashid. When it comes to preparation-wise, back to your question, it's about the leadership within the district. You know, from Coca-Cola, when USSA took over, we have got structure from national level up to district level. I'll tell you, last week Arua was able to at least have fixers, and the latest report I got from my manager is that I think the executive for Koboko district is here to sit and to see that games teachers are called. As a coach, I am just an employee of the school, but when it comes to administration at that level, it is directly my team manager who is the games teacher at that level. Thank you.
Yeah, exactly. Now, narrowing it down to that is your team in the aspect of coaching. Have you seen, like, in all the schools, there are a little bit improvement as far as the coaching department is concerned? Because over the past days, we used to see players who don't know even rules of coaching, what like that. Have you ever seen this time around, yes, coming regulators going for professional coaches like you people who are having Cup C, Cup D, Cup A, those ones there in secondary schools? Have you seen improvement as far as Koboko district is concerned this year?
No, I've not got time to learn which team is being coached by which coach within Koboko, but I will tell you, those who go to class like to learn how football is taught are very few within Koboko. There are very few, and they usually, like if you talk about our class when we are trained in Marata with beginners course, and we have got big coaches like Ben, Aduko Ben, this teacher who teaches in Yarilo, those of Uzuku. Sometimes schools fail to meet their demands. Just like somebody who is skilled and you can't compare to a volunteer. And for us in football, we are told, the person who took over, actually, when we completed our training, it was Coach Frank Vido Anyao. He openly said that if somebody volunteers to claiming to be like supporting football, it's just like you're doing disservice. We have got good players. I usually tell my players, we have got good players who have already retired, who have left secondary football, but schools choose to go for such players to train. It's not about that you put on jerseys and you have ever played football. No. There are things that I'll talk about as a trained coach that a player, unless if the player worked with a very big coach, like I can mention people like like
Caesar Samson
Caesar Samson Okuti. He has gone through Mutebis. It has been a long journey. But if somebody plays within Koboko, you play secondary football for just around 6 years, and you come to Koboko Rising Stars and end up teaching football to these young players, it's a very big challenge, and it has been a gap that the District Football Association has failed to address. And I think it will be very good, since that this time things are being handled online. I will pray that USSA should introduce an online system to really regulate that. At least before a school recruits a coach, let there be like, just like Uganda Premier League, you can't be coached by like at least a CAF B. But here it's really the service, and we are handling young players. It's only players that went through good coaches in primary, when they get to at least, it affects their journey. Like you have got a good coach in primary. I would mention schools like Wases, schools like Golden Brain that have been handled by professional coaches. It becomes very unfortunate for such a player who has been groomed well to be taken up by somebody who has not been trained. It affects the journey of this player.
Yes, sir. Now I think looking at the Koboko's station particularly, like how you have said, few coaches are coaching schools in Koboko, and it has made the level of competition in Koboko to become kind of bit low, because only few schools, you mentioned schools like St. Charles Luanga, you mentioned schools like Koboko Public. In terms of coaching experience, Koboko Public has experienced coach who is with me here, with also the qualifications right there. One of the schools also include Francis Aime Memorial, who have coach senior secondary school here. Those are the coaches who have in fact the schools who have experienced and qualified coaches right there. What is the level of competition you have seen this time around? Are you also seeing because before last year and the last year but one, we saw your school had been 4 years in semi-finals, and the 2023/2024 they were in finals. They went to represent West Nile, in fact Koboko, in regional tournaments down in Adjumani. What is the face as far as the competition is concerned?
Thank you. Actually, when I got my job at Koboko Public, the first challenge was that in the previous year, before last year, that was 2024, the team remained in group stage. The task given to me was to go past group stage, which I had not achieved, and that is the biggest task put ahead of me. I will tell you, I had a slim team. I had a small team and slim one. I had very few options, but I will tell you, this year it's going to be bigger. Fans will expect something bigger, true.
Yeah, something bigger. Those are the words coming from, that is Coach Majid. I should not put on his stamp, because here professionally we are speaking about the football. This is Coach Majid with me right here. Now Majid, narrowing it away from here, perhaps something one or two. You're a professional, in fact you are patriotic West Nile. Before we make it to UEFA Champions League, this coming Saturday, West Nile Province has quarter-final game in football drum against Bunyoro. If you look at the players who are summoned into the team of West Nile Province, only two goalkeepers. You speak about Norman, and that is Orange of time Midigo Calvary. Only two goalkeepers. Then in defensive line, they have players like, that is Jericho James, who is common known as a winger, or else midfielder for Tungasazi and the Neck Football Club. You speak about Ajiga Michael, you speak about Gibbs Adino or Rombi, all those are the guys. Then coming to midfield, players like Gaddafi Gadino, that each and everyone thought that he wasn't to be into the team because of not performing. Then also players like Andama Junior from his return from Qatar to Midigo Calvary. Then Jeremy Matata of Midigo Calvary into the team. We have that is Adjumani Gaddafi Wahab, who plays for Chitara Football Club. And my point of focus that I want us to narrow it is the attacking force. If you look at the attackers who are called for West Nile Province, you speak about Muhammad Safan Jagason, who is the legend. Then you speak about Innocent Media, you speak about Fred Amako, Alfred Leko, you speak about Emmanuel Anyama, who plays for that is KCCA. All these guys, how good is that team to overturn Bunyoro, to go past that is quarter-final games, according to your own perspectives?
When you talk about West Nile as a region and FIFA Drum as a league, a tournament that is being played, for us as team West Nile Province, when I see, even if it's written on paper, when I hear about West Nile Province as a team, it reminds me of our famous day in Gulu, Peche, when we won 1-0 against Acholi province, and the only goal was scored by late Rashid. May his soul rest in peace. If you compare the competition level from 2019, the famous Acholi Masterful game, drastically you'll be forced to conclude that we have lost focus as the team province, West Nile. And the level of competition, when you compare from 2019 up to 2026, you realize that we have got set of players who are not being replaced by potential, apart from maybe if I may mention, who are going to be, actually if you were to ask who is going to come after Saban that we can be proud of as West Nile. If you talk about this team, the way you're reading, you're giving me information about the attacking team that has been selected, the set of players. I got happy when I heard Gaddafi Wahab, Rashid. You know that there's the famous West Nile province team that we are talking about. But when you mention names like Andama Junior, he has got. He was new. Miligo Calvary was new to him. It means as West Nile, for me as a coach, it's only, I think at some point it was it Klopp? I think it was Klopp, not Klopp. There was a coach during Suarez Sturridge period. Was it Rafa Benitez? And I think Rafa Benitez. Suarez will score 3 goals, but you see Kolo Toure here scoring 2 own goals. It becomes very difficult. And for me as a coach, I believe in what? I believe in a solid defense. And I normally tell my players I hate conceding many goals. Even if when we are playing against the best team. So this is a good team, but it comes back to the administration of the team. I will tell you, sometimes
not cutting you short. I love a certain point that you have brought it. If they are beating you, you should not concede more goals. Now, meaning that if you look at it tactically, West Nile approving team is more of attacking because they have pacey guys. You speak about Kawara Sidolu, you speak about Fred Amaku, you speak about that is the likes of Saban, Innocent Media. Now, all these guys are all pacey and attacking guys. Now, the defensive line, could it be a huge blow to West Nile because famous defenders West Nile used to be known, you speak about Perimeter Saka, that you spoke about the Obio of Nyangla Senior Secondary School, you speak about Bright, that is Joseph Buni, who is also absent, you speak about Baiga, who is also absent into the team, the current players who are available, you speak about Okomo Rogers of team, Miligo Calvary, not forgetting Ajiga Michael of Ontoparaka, and that is Lele of team Paida Black Angels. Are you seeing in terms of your statement, not conceding goals, are you seeing this defensive line of West Nile province doing something as far as mitigating the attacking force of Bunyoro province?
Football is an enterprise and it's a business. If you want results, you need to put money into football. I remember when we went to Acholi for the Acholi Masterful game, Mama Saban was flown on air by a fan, and yet he was injured. What was the essence? Acholi had Alan Okello, not Alan Okello, but the other Okello. But because we wanted to level competition, Saban only came and warmed, we expected, and it made many fans of Saban to travel from Arua to actually entire West Nile to Peche just to go and watch him, but he was injured. Why should the whole region fail to afford to bring our player to come and play for the province? Meaning people are only interested in what? People are interested in what is available. I will only narrow it to what? To the leadership of the team.
Now meaning that those big experienced defenders will leave very huge blow into the defense line of Team West Nile, according to your conclusion statements right there. Yes, viewer like Aaron, that I did tell you, our focus here is all about UEFA Champions League games which are coming on your way. To start it right away from the first game where we did see Norwegian-based team Bodo Glimt were 3-0 winners over Portuguese club that is Sporting Lisbon after being beaten down in that is Norway. If you look at this team, Bodo Glimt, They are already done and dusted with their domestic league. They are crowned the champions. The only thing is only waiting for whether they will go with the UEFA Champions League reach to quarter, semi-final or finals. Is what these people are waiting from there. In your own perspective, views, what are your anticipations as far as this game between Bodo Glimt of Norway concerned?
That Norwegian club.
Yeah.
If a follower of football get interested in following Bodo Glimt, it's going to be a very big surprise. I got interested in knowing who their players are. I realized they only have three non-national players.
Yeah.
You wonder whether these people are planning for World Cup or what. So having up to about 97% of the team from the national actually being nationals. I'm actually getting, as a City fan, I'm getting scared that these people may be forced to call Haaland to join their team.
Okay.
It's going to be a very, very big surprise. If you look at their journey coming past Inter, very many teams, they didn't surprise us. City.
Yeah, I think your statement might be coming through because if I can remember, they made a statement, Oscar Boba must head to that the Bodo Glimt. They one time had such a statement. Oscar Bob being that is a Norwegian, meaning that he has to be crossing that side to add the number. Definitely something must be looking behind there.
Serious countries like Spain will look at who is playing for Barcelona FC, who is playing for Real Madrid. Even if you're the best, but you're playing outside the national league, like La Liga. Look at Raya. Raya is not playing for the national team for Spain.
Yeah.
And if you compare him with the keepers that are being used, the good keepers are not better than him. When you compare his records, he has kept up to about 20 clean sheets, one of the best. But you will just know that Bodo Glimt is not a project for the club only. You will know that these people should be planning something at national level.
Okay.
Why should a club at that level have the majority being nationals? They are planning something big.
Meaning that to improve their national team as far as the international tournaments are concerned, right? They're right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Then on Sporting CP game, I don't think they're going to change stories because Glimt, for them, they have already shown the world what they are capable of doing. I don't think they're going to be I don't see Sporting CP
if you look at
turning things around.
If you look at the formation which is used by Sporting CP, they have gone in for 4-2-3-1 formation. Meanwhile, the Norwegian-based club are coming with their traditional formation of 4-3-3. The formation alone perhaps could it be an advantage thing for Bodo Glimt over Team Sporting CP?
In football, we call it free-flowing football and it's high-intensity football. If you followed Coach Klopp, that's where he's interested in. You need to have Trent Alexander-Arnold around. Those who will be playing like wing backs, but they will be flying high as if they are playing three defenders. 4-3-3, it's a very attacking formation. Though as a coach, I prefer 4-2-3-1.
Yeah, now that is all about. In fact, perhaps before we cross to another game, you are. As far as the prediction wide, are you seeing Bodo Glimt also beating Sporting CP again, or you're seeing this time around Sporting CP coming in for a consolation goal right there?
Yeah, it's about a day and how things will be in office for us, and as coaches we believe things can change anytime. But the way I said, Bodo Glimt has proved to the world that they can do it.
Yeah, they have proved to the world that they
I am going for a win for them. They're winning tonight.
So, meaning that Bodo Glimt will be beating that is a Portuguese-based club Sporting CP by, in fact, on home and away basis, right? They are narrowing focus to that is one of the amazing game which is coming on your way tonight. Is the biggest game between a team that is Chelsea Football Club and that is PSG. Kvaratskhelia came from bench to make it 5-2 for team Chelsea. In fact, for team PSG over Chelsea Football Club. Could it be the same story as what we are looking at Stamford Bridge right here? Yes, if you look at Chelsea, since the head coach Liam took over, things seems to be not to be working well for team Chelsea. What could be done? Perhaps in your own anticipation, I'd been thinking it here, Chelsea need to do some adjustment, 1-0 in your own anticipation. Where have you seen Chelsea's mistakes or where the Chelsea's problems are?
True. Premier League. You know, the competition, the league, the domestic league in England is not an easy league compared to other leagues. You can see a Real Madrid in Spain struggling, but when it comes to Champions League, they'll still do better when it's being compared to other leagues. Chelsea being a big team, once you are signed,
Yeah.
and this common say the first cut is always the deepest. Once you start on a bad note, in such clubs, it's very hard for coaches to change the stories. But the other thing is, coaches needed to be given time, and especially when you're recruiting and you're firing a coach. Let me give an example. When Ruben Amorim joined Manchester United, he came at a point when shopping was over, and he had his own style of play. And the players that were available were not really players like Luxo. You can't really say you're using 3 fullbacks and you use Luxo as a wing back. Then when I am to get back to Chelsea and their game tonight, I don't think the coach is going to change stories. They only surprised me when they played the Club Super Cup, where they surprised Chelsea, actually Club Paris Saint-Germain with 3-0 win. But tonight, I don't see anything changing, and I don't think the coach can change certain things. But when you talk about the entire team, Chelsea has the rate at which they are conceding goals,
Yeah.
it's very high, and a high-flying team like Varshelia to another side, you have Desire Doué.
Yeah.
It's not going to be an easy night for them.
Yeah, it is not going to be an easy night tonight for Team Chelsea Football Club. And those are the words from Coach Majid right here in the building. Yes, to my own anticipation that I've ever been thinking here is all about if you look at Liam since he took over the managerial aspect of Team Chelsea, he seems to be like underrating well, he's not having trust for some players, although those players are trying to show that they are capable. One of the players could be that is Alexander Garnacho. In all the games moment he is introduced, you will find if he fails to give assists, he can create for you spaces, or he can score for you goals. That is Alexander Garnacho to you. Have you seen like Garnacho not being given playing time frequently under Liam, the new head coach? Have you seen a very big blow left by Alexander Garnacho in that game?
Chelsea as a club is like a woman who goes to market and buys everything. And when she gets to the market, actually to the kitchen, what to be cooked becomes an issue. Chelsea went and bought very many players.
Yes.
And it's very hard once you have a very big team. I was telling you that I had a very small team last year, but I have over 5 good midfielders this year.
Yeah.
Selection is the role of a coach, but now when you have very many good players around, it's very hard for you to get the best out of some of these players. I want to give you an example how Amorim almost killed the journey of this guy Kobe Mainoo,
Yeah.
by not going for options that would really give results for my team Manchester United. A high-flying player like Garnacho needed to get time in the team. You have Madueke that has left the team.
Yeah.
The way I told you, too many things in the kitchen, what to be cooked becomes an issue. Thank you.
Now if you look at if you are to be given the managerial aspect at Team Chelsea, what could be, if all the players are fit, who could be your, in fact, how could the status, the structure of your first squad look like with the available players of Team Chelsea? Take a look if they are to be all fit, or else with the current one who are fit, who shall start for you ahead of Team PSG tonight?
I've not gone to the team news of Chelsea tonight, but I will expect my Brazilian Estelle must start.
Yes.
As well. Garnacho, Enzo is also good up front, but Chelsea's other problem is if you look at the last game they had with last week with Team Paris Saint-Germain, the goalkeeper was not at his best, Sanchez.
Yeah.
The way I told you can't have a very good attacking force, and when you have problems back.
Now, if you look at it, to my own anticipation, that is maybe to a greater extent where I will see Team Chelsea will be having a smiling note ahead of PSG tonight if they are to go and assemble. Remember, tonight they have Reece James, their captain, out injured. Then the definite proposals for them shall be the Spanish international Fofana partnering with Chalobah in midfield 3. We'll have that is exactly Caicedo, not forgetting Enzo Fernandez and English midfielder Cole Palmer. Now the difference is variation will not come in the attacking force. If it is to be in my own anticipation, I will see Alexander Garnacho. I will prefer to see Alexander Garnacho in the left-hand wing. Then that is Pedro Neto to the right, and then João Pedro leading the attacking force. Of course, if you look at team PSG, they are also very good in terms of kick and run football. Also, when it narrowing it to take such kind of football, they are very good. You speak about players like Bettina, you speak about players like that João Neves in the midfield who can do for those things, and if you give them more spaces, they can also score for goals up front there. Now comparing that one also with that is a Chelsea's midfield that has Caicedo. If you make Caicedo to sit for you, then Enzo Fernandez rotating into the other side, whereas in the plans with him in the midfield, then Cole Palmer doing for the rural aspect of it. Those are the same kind of midfielders PSG has, because when the goalkeeper is in the off-track position, you'll find they can have attempts from far. We did see players like Palmer, players like Enzo Fernandez scoring on that is a far yards like that. Could it be such kind of station applied, or else such kind of tactics applied by Team Chelsea? I would have seen something else. I'm seeing something cooking for them, although the goal margins will not reach into aspect of turning them up down there. Yes, in one of the games which is the most crucial and amazing thing. So it's two great football followers of that is a Sunderland Football Club and Manchester City doing it for. When shall we qualify for UEFA Champions League? But trust me, Sunderland in some seasons will be qualifying for UEFA Champions League right there. Yes, being Manchester City fan or else, let us look at the game at the aspect of analyzing it right here. What went wrong as far as the first league is concerned? Remember, Federico Barbal's hat-trick in the first half happens to be the difference for team that is Manchester City and Real Madrid game in first league.
Thank you. You're praying for Sunderland to be in the
UEFA Champions League.
UEFA Champions League. I hope you're not a deserter like me. I'm a deserter of Arsenal FC from City. Actually, from Arsenal to Manchester City.
Okay.
I crossed in 2021. This is my fifth year. Talking about our night tonight with Club Real Madrid. Magui said he has ever played under an environment where there's too much pressure, but that one of Bernabeu felt different because started to receive flags flying all over, people decorating the pitch with the highest noise that he has ever heard. Said it was really different in terms of numbers and the noise that was coming from Bernabeu. From the night we lost 3-0 to Real Madrid, friends kept on asking whether we are going to change the story. I told them it was one man's night so it was Valverde, Lucas Valverde, who took the night. So to me, it was not the team. With the good news that Mbappe in the game, when Pep was interviewed, he said, "We have got slim chances, but having slim chances doesn't mean we are going to be eliminated easily." But we are preparing to change the whole story.
Yeah, I love the whole story, like how you are trying to make it with an idiom there. It is going to be a slim station, but amidst that, we have ever seen teams securing such kind of stations. Now, let us first narrow it to the first league game before coming to what will happen, or else our anticipations as far as tonight's game is concerned. Have you seen like aspects of Pep Guardiola messing up in terms of bringing the starting squad well, in terms of playing the players on that very day against the Real Madrid?
As a good citizen, the only mistake that Pep has made, and it will take me time to forgive him, is when he let Cole Palmer leave, and knowing that Kevin De Bruyne was leaving. To any Manchester City follower and a fan there, I will tell you, we have not replaced KDB. And when Manchester City plays without KDB, you have no Erling Haaland.
Yeah.
I used to tell friends that Haaland only fails to score a goal when he's in the mortuary. but it's getting tougher this time because chances are not being created. When Palmer left, I used to trust the young guy Rico Lewis, but this time he's not getting space. I don't want to limit it to Pep's. Pep is one of the best coaches. They're one of the best. Not only this time, but it's going to be in the long run. He has already made records. But the challenge is who is to be brought to do what is the issue. Currently, we are only relying on the Portuguese Bernardo Silva.
Yeah.
And he's not giving enough when it comes to creating chances. To add on that, Ryan Chuck is not being given first team, and he's the only. If you watched us play West Ham last Saturday,
yeah,
you'll just know that we really lack creativity. It's very hard for balls to reach Haaland, and that's where our kitchen is. That's where we get our goals, but the creativity is a bit lacking.
Yeah, now if you look at the first league, to my own understanding, in my own observations, Manchester City, that the managerial board is failing to understand, right? The midfield that has Rodri, that has that is Bernardo Silva and Nico O'Reilly, comparing this midfield to midfield that has Rodri, that has Phil Foden, and that is Ryan Cherki, kind of bit shows the maturity and creativity compared to the midfield that has Bernardo Silva, Rodri, and Nico O'Reilly, which Pep Guardiola with his team currently prefers. And if you look at Real Madrid and team Manchester City game, which was in Spain, definitely you know that the experience kind of bit it was lacking in Man City team, because Man City had a long-term absentee in due course of injury, that is Sabino, who was out in that game because of in fact FA Cup game or fifth round game against the Newcastle, where Sabino and Doku had outstanding performances. Pep Guardiola thought that it is very good for him to go for more of attacking aspect, to introduce in fact to start Doku and Sabino at the goal. Remember, they are coming against the Real Madrid that has key two experienced impact players out, Jude Bellingham and that is Kylian Mbappe. These guys were all out. Now, Team Real Madrid knew these guys being out, the only opportunity is they're all average. The only experienced player and is a big name player there is that is Vinicius Junior. So the only thing is being average, they have to deliver the expectation of having that is Arda Güler to the other side, not forgetting the Moroccan international, Brahim Diaz. So these were the guys, they had to use the opportunity which is given for them into expectation. They knew the focus was all to Vinicius Junior, and the only thing is the creativity has to come from midfield. That is why we saw Tchouameni and Valverde came from nowhere and killed everything for Team Manchester City. Otherwise, if Manchester City had gone for their trip call and 4-2-3-1 can be good, you can't deploy, to my own anticipations, you can't deploy that is Semenyo. Semenyo is, he is still new to English Premier League, he has been delivering. In fact, he is still new to Manchester City.
Manchester City as well, Champions League.
As well, Champions League. These are moments where you expect experienced guys who have already understood what is called UEFA Champions League. Players like Phil Foden to be into the team, then players like Ryan Cherki, even Tijani Reinders with AC Milan who played UEFA Champions League for several years. Those are the things. And it is also the same mistake Pep Guardiola made against, and that is Al Nassr, the team that eliminated them in FIFA Club World Cup down in America. You saw how Team Manchester City was eliminated. Sure. So such kind of stations to me is what Team Pep Guardiola, in fact, the management team of Team Manchester City lacked at that particular time. Then coming against tonight's game, in my own views and in my own anticipation, I'm saying if Team Real Madrid, we have ever seen a record has been broken. Remember some seasons back at the team Chelsea, not Chelsea but rather Liverpool, overturned result against the Spanish team, team Barcelona, where in Spain, Barcelona were 3-0 winners over team Liverpool, and at Anfield in England, Liverpool went into beating team that is Barcelona by 4-0, and they proceeded to the next round. It is the same situation which can happen here. Trust me, if team Real Madrid will allow themselves to concede game in the first early 8 minutes, that is from 1 to 15 minutes there, Liverpool, Man City will overturn the results. Just 3 goals is enough for Man City to take things to extra time, and in extra time it depends on the aspect of defensive, which will take it all. Or else they can even, if they are more clinical, they can even proceed and beat team Real Madrid. At that perspective, are you seeing team Manchester City overturning Real Madrid if they are able to work on some one or two aspects?
Thank you. The way I told you, when Pep got interviewed, he said we have got slim chances. The most unfortunate thing is that Team Real Madrid takes UEFA Champions League as a project. You may fail to deliver in the National League like La Liga, but they can't give you 2 years when you fail to get the Champions League. Unfortunately, Real Madrid got injected last year by an English team that was Arsenal. Remember, Declan Rice took them personal.
Like how Valverde also
took us personal. So it's not going to be an easy thing. You mentioned about something about Phil Foden. Phil Foden has already stayed at Etihad and he's an experienced player. I expected Pep to really trust him the way I'm trusting my captain, Frederick Dandua, with team Koboko Public. Remember when we played West Ham, when Phil Foden was introduced with Ryan Cherki, the whole story turned. We are about to get a win. But my worry is, much as we are talking about slim chances, maybe we have English teams have got stories of turning results against Spanish teams. My biggest worry is we failed to score 2 goals against West Ham. How possible is it going to be that? Celebrate 2 goals against Real Madrid? That is my biggest question of worry. Much as the environment is going to be different as it had again, and we shall expect players like Maguire who feared Bernabeu to give their best.
Now, there's one thing before we turn the story of Manchester City down about the defensive aspect. If you look at Matheus Nunes, this is someone who is already adopted and he has already known what to be done in the defensive line of Team Manchester City. Pep Guardiola went into that game benching him and introducing that is Kusanov in that department alongside that is Ruben Diaz, not forgetting Mark. To me, which kind of bit the absence of Josko Gvardiol, the long-term absentee currently in the team, you will not love to bench that is Anthony Nuri in left-back position, we have Matheus Nunes in the other side, and have that is Mark Guehi alongside Ruben Diaz in the defensive line, because this is the current defensive line that you may think creativity-wise they are doing good, because all those wing-backs, they have abilities to run, they have abilities to hold the ball for a long period of time, and this is the same ability Real Madrid wingers has. You speak about Vinicius Junior. Matheus Nunes can run, and Vinicius Junior can run. Equal also in left back position, and Nori can also run. Could it be Pep Guardiola changing the starting lineup to make things work?
Thank you. As coaches, about Phil Foden being an option for Pep this time. For us as coaches, it's very hard for us to criticize a selection being done by a coach. And the way I told you, selection is actually one of the when it comes to game management and game approach, who to start, there are 2 things that will determine the type of team that you are going to play. Again, you have just mentioned about a fast running Vinicius Junior. Automatically it gets back to the question of which team are we going to play. And again, there are those drills that we shall do prior to the game to see how we are going to handle Real Madrid. If the Matheus Nunes you're talking about fails to handle what Pep wanted him to do against Team Real Madrid, automatically it forces the head coach to make such changes. Yes.
I think perhaps prediction one.
If our goals will not make us force Real Madrid out of the league, at least we are going with a win at Etihad. But it will be a tight one.
I love the temper and I love the courage he is speaking it. Another crucial game is the game of a team Arsenal Football Club, and that is Bayer Leverkusen. We did see the first league ended in 1-1 draw after things being leveled by former paymasters, in fact, a former player of a team Bayer Leverkusen, Kai Havertz for team Arsenal, through spot kicks right there. Before we proceed, if you look at Arsenal, they last won to that is Bayer Leverkusen. In their last 4 meetings, they won twice. then they drew twice. Then if you look at their wins came all back, that is 20, in fact the 2003 and 2004 season where they were unbeaten. They won the English Premier League unbeaten, also 2014 and 2015 season respectively. Are you seeing Arsenal overturning things at Emirates tonight?
Anything that happens from 2020 below, those records are not interested. Then football changes every day. If Host TV hosted Coach Arteta here, even if the topic is Manchester City, you'll be thinking about whether he's going to win the Premier League.
Yeah.
Just the way when they're playing Champions League, most of his mind is on whether they're going to win the Premier League. To him, the task of Champions League is like an advantage. The biggest task to these guys are whether they're going to win the league. And the entire team of Arsenal, I can tell you, they're on pressure. They think they should get something from Champions League. The league must be won. There's still Carabao that they're supposed to win. So this team is on pressure. And I was making fun with friends when we were watching it, saying the problem with Arsenal is Arsenal fears anything called Bayer. For them, they mistook the name Bayer Leverkusen to be maybe Bayern Munich. That's how they had to drop a point. I never expected, actually the whole world never expected a team that has scored almost most, I think it's only Bayern that has scored more goals.
Yeah.
When you look at the statistics now, Arsenal must be second or third in terms of number of goals. So a team, Bayer Leverkusen, that is struggling in the league at home, shouldn't really be a challenge to a high-flying Arsenal this time. But as a disaster, though I don't have good prayers for them, but I think they're turning the story. It's going to be a win for Arsenal.
Yes, it is going to be a win for Arsenal if you look at as far as the UEFA Champions League games are concerned. Like other than that, I did tell you in a comprehensive results of the games which shall be coming on your way. That is 8:45. We shall be seeing a team Bodo Glimt at Arsenal against that is Sporting SP. Not forgetting a team Manchester City sitting at home to welcome Real Madrid, and PSG traveling away from Parc des Princes to that Stamford Bridge in England to take on their rivals team Chelsea Football Club. And last game tonight shall be bringing for you, that is a team Arsenal Football Club versus it with Bayer Leverkusen. I expect that to be bouncing back tomorrow for the same analysis as far as the UEFA Champions League games are concerned. Perhaps before I let you go, I'm quite sure you still have some one or two words there.
Yeah, true. Thank you. I want to thank Lighter TV. It's a big opportunity. Nice having it with you. Budapest. It's road to Budapest. It's called Puskás Arena.
Okay.
I was checking around whether there are previous records of whether a team has ever gone there. It's the first time that people are going to play the finals in Hungary.
Yeah.
And it's an open space.
Yeah.
And I said, should it be a bad day in office tonight for Pep Guardiola, we are going to assign our orphans to Team Liverpool, not Arsenal. Experience. I'd rather consider Chelsea, that has got almost no chance to qualify, to say for us we already ejected by Real Madrid, but can you see our orphans as we are leaving the league? Not really Arsenal, because they have never got chance to get closer to that league.
Yeah, yes, viewer, before we set up here as far as the games are concerned, I expect us to be bouncing back tomorrow, and we are going to have what is called crucial and engagement analysis as far as UEFA Champions League games are concerned, starting from today, tomorrow, and up to UEFA Conference League. Very good number of days, up to 3, where we shall be with the same faces here in the buildings. You are departing us for the viewer.
Thank you so much. We are, as Muslims, we're on pressure. It's Eid. As viewers, as Muslims, we expect a peaceful Eid celebration. We are 2 days into, though it's not determined by a say from Majid, but we always, I know you're a Muslim, we always wait for the moon to communicate to us.
Exactly.
But let us be disciplined. We should not really lose our fasting to just meet the demands of Eid. We pray that all will be okay. And the secondary football is coming. I know I'll have an opportunity to talk about this, but we expect a disciplined, actually, fans to watch these games. Thank Thank you. Have a good night.
Yes, viewer, those are mature words from that is the experienced coach Majid right here. We are out from here. Expect to bounce back with us as far as the next later TV program is concerned. Tomorrow, we're out from here. Bye bye.
Did you enjoy?